this guy will, sometimes guys will just pull to this position, or it's a desperation position, meaning that I've started to pass his guard and halfway through he's able to snatch his half guard. So a lot of times back earlier when I was learning jiu-jitsu, the half guard was kind of a desperation position, and now it's more of an attack position. And then I actually learned that the top side position is an attack position as well. It's actually way better to be on top half guard in this particular position we're going to look at than it is to be on the bottom. Once the guy gets on the bottom here, he's in really bad shape. Okay, so I'll actually pass the half guard. Instead of trying to pass the full guard, I'll pass to the half guard and take the half guard. And from that half guard, really just torture the guy, you know. And what I mean by that is put so much pressure on him that he wishes he would never have caught in the half guard at all. Okay, so once I get here, I flatten the guy out. Because the guy's going to want to be on his side, right? And sometimes it's hard just to flatten the guy out because you don't want to just drive over the guy. Because if you do, the guy has the ability to shoot his arm underneath your legs and kind of go under you. Oh no. So we got to be careful about just driving right over the guy. So once I get to the half guard, I actually want to kind of set my chest towards his chest. Even if he's got this underhook here, I bury that underhook, and I'm actually going to run my hips through his hips to my right. That's going to flatten his hips out. Instead of me trying to pin his shoulders down as I drive into the guy, which will facilitate him going under me again. Go again. Boom, going under me. Bad choice on my point. I'm going to run his hips. So I'm actually going to, spin this way for me, bud. I'm going to actually clamp his knee. I want to make sure I trap this leg in here. Right, I want to trap that leg, because if I go to run his hips like I want to, and that leg's clear, he can hip skip and get his full guard back. Boom, yeah, no good, all right? So I want to make sure I trap this leg here as I put pressure on him, kill him that underhook, and I'm going to walk my hips to the right. Now smash the guy. One of the most important things, one of the most important things when I'm inside, topside half guard, is never, ever let the leg that is caught in half guard become straight. I never want it to be straight as a board and this one be bent. Because what happens is the guy gets this lockdown. And there's guys that develop whole games and systems based on that lockdown. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to make sure that sucker's bent. So I make that foot point over towards my other leg. Like I'm going to do a figure four or a triangle here. I don't really do that all the time, but I have it over here. So when I come in, boom, that leg's bent the whole time. And my hip pressure is through his femur, his thigh. Boom, I'm throwing my hips down through it. Once I get to this position, hand comes under his neck, nice and snug. I'm gonna reach under and grab his armpit with my fingers. Boom, right here. And now I'm going to, now I can put pressure into this guy, just like so, at a diagonal. That diagonal makes me create so much pressure here on his neck that he feels like this drowning sensation starts to take place. And he starts to become desperate. When he becomes desperate, he makes mistakes. When he makes mistakes, I take advantage of those mistakes. So again, we're here. I make sure I make that contact with him. I could be under here, I could be grabbing the collar, I could do a lot of different things. He can even be bicep blocking me. Bicep blocking me? Yeah, he can even be here, doesn't matter. I'm gonna pinch my knees and walk to here. And now I'm at that good diagonal position. Hand goes under, get a whole handful armpit, right? And then I can drive into him, shoulder crunching, a little shoulder action on the left side, boom, here. And this is the position I want to find myself in, okay? So that's the first piece we're gonna do. We're gonna move on and add different techniques of passing. On three, 1, 2, 3. Okay guys, so now that we've kind of looked at the position a little bit, let's just go over a little bit of the nuances and then think about where we want to go next. So this fight, this struggle that exists right here, it's not going to be anything that's going to be real quick. I mean, you could spend 2 minutes here with this guy, just really trying to flatten the guy out and letting him yield to where he finally says, okay, fine, I'll lay flat on my back. Because he's going to be fighting the whole time to get on his side, he's going to be fighting the whole time to get under you, he's going to be fighting this whole time to try to get his knee on your chest. There's all kinds of things. So once you get to this position and you go in, you know, you can even slide inside the thighs. Yeah, see, I clamp my knee back, clamp this thigh. He was thinking even then, he's going to think about going his leg under. I'm going to clamp my legs together and I'm going to cross face him. Okay? Now, once I do that, he can have this underhook. It's not a problem. I just can't let the guy be all the way under me here. I can't have my body weight being on this part of his arm to be on this part. If it's on this part, he's gonna be under me. No problem, look at that. Boom, he's under me. But if I get my body weight down on the lower half of his arm, it's very hard for him to get under me. And my hands are free. This hand's clamping with this hand, and he can't roll me. A lot of people would argue that since I'm going across his body diagonal, that I'm vulnerably rolled over him. But if he can't get under me, he's gonna have a hard time rolling over me. And if I have this hand to stabilize myself, he's gonna have a very hard time. All right, so once we're here, we get to this position here. I'm putting pressure on the guy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that my elbow relatively stays close to the mat. I mean, this guy's got a big chest. Not everybody's got a huge chest, and my elbow's gonna have the ability to get on the mat, but I'm hugging here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate my body a little bit so I can start feeding his lapel out. So if we spin this way, so you can see the lapel. So we're here. When I'm in this position here, I kind of rotate my body a little bit so I can start feeding this lapel out. Because the guy has the underhook, he can have the underhook. It's no problem, I'll pull this lapel out, just like so. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it out, tight, pull it down, I'm gonna run it to this hand, just like so, all right? I would love to have it flipped, just like this, flipped to the outside in his armpit. That would be ideal, because it has a tendency to cut this arm asleep, and it's kind of nice to have. So he's underhooked, boom, I pull this guy out of this belt, I pull the lapel out, and I stretch as much as I can, and then I pass it to this hand. Now if he has that underhook, oh, this is bad. He keeps that underhook, I now have the ability to put serious pressure on his neck, to where the guy a lot of times will tap. This right there, it puts a lot of pressure on the guy's neck, okay? Is that the ideal thing we want? Sure, I'll take it. But is that really what I'm going for? No, but I do want to create that pressure. I do want to create that desperation in the guy. So again, we're here. This is still tucked in. I fought here for a little bit. Now I'm going to pull this lapel out. I'm going to try to flip it as best I can without losing my position, and I'm going to pass it, stretch it, and pass it to this hand. Remember, you're not making this hand go get it. I'm passing it to this hand as much as I can. That hand stays where it's at. If you still got the underhook, so be it. If I have the underhook, that's cool too. But let's say he has it. Or if he's got his arm across my throat, go ahead, arm across my throat. That's no problem. From here, I put all the pressure. I can still do it. He's going to push on my throat. Go ahead. It makes it much easier. Most of the time, the guy's going to want the underhook, and that's what I'm going to want to. Bite down, drive into the guy. Now, what's going to happen, the guy's going to start to freak out. He starts trying to push on my shoulder, or he'll pull my shoulder down. Grab it and pull my shoulder, take yes. Once he goes here, now it makes it much easier for me to slide the underhook underneath. Now I have what I want. But now from here, once I get my underhook, drop my shoulder weight down so my head goes under. Head down, pump, head under. And I'm going to drive my head to the mat. Hand out for stability. On my tiptoes, driving, knee drives. Here. All that pressure is maintained on the guy's neck. All that pressure is maintained on the guy's neck. Let's repeat this whole thing. So again, here's what we're doing. We're here. Pass the lapel, nice and snug, pressure. Once I get the pressure on me, I'm going to put pressure on his jaw until he decides to grab my shoulder to pull it off of his jaw. That's where he makes his choice. That's no problem. That's not swimming under. I'm here. I put more pressure, pop the elbow to the other side of my head. My head goes to the mat. I'm going to put my tiptoes. And you're like, well, you can roll me from here. No, you can't roll me. No, I'll easily step to the mat if he tries to roll me. No problem. One last time. We're going to do it. So we're here. Go thigh quickly. I want to put all this pressure on his neck. Make him wish he was never here. Pass the lapel. Pressure, 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 pressure. He takes the shoulder pressure off. I can now rotate my shoulder a little bit. Slide the underhook. Pop his elbow. Head goes to the mat. Almost like an arm triangle. Butt in the air. He can push on my hip, try to throw me off. Nope. Not going to happen. Slide my knee, foot to the mat. I'm now in the mount position. Everybody see what we're doing? On three, 1, 2, 3. Remember, we want to flatten the guy out. A couple key points. We want to flatten the guy out. We want to create jaw pressure on the guy. So much jaw pressure, some people forget, we want this elbow to be raised because he's voluntarily trying to pull pressure off his shoulder, off his neck, from my shoulder. That voluntarily raises that inside elbow. Okay? The outside elbow is me pushing my hand up or my head to the other side to where I get him in this position right here before I go to the mount. That makes it structurally close to impossible for him to bridge me. Because when his elbows are up, it makes it very hard for him to bridge his hips. And that's what I ultimately want. And so it's like, I get what I want philosophically. It's like, I get what I want, get what I want, get what I want. I'm almost there, here, let me go for it. And then all of a sudden, he's like, he sees it, and he pulls his elbows down to try to check the position. I've got to stop what I'm doing, go back, and get what I need before I move forward. So that way it becomes about the position and not about the technique. You got to make it be about the position and what you need out of the position, not what you need out of the technique. Let's give it for instance on this. Okay, let's say that I do everything right. I flatten him out. I grab my armpit. He's got the underhook over here, but I feed my lapel. I move my body a little bit. I feed my lapel. Hide my ankle. Very important to hide my ankle. I don't want him stepping over and grabbing my ankle. I don't like that at all. It locks my leg. It locks my hip. I don't like. So I want to make sure I hide my ankle. I feed my lapel. I feed it tight to this hand. I don't run this hand to the grip. I run the grip to the hand. I put pressure on the guy. I put pressure on this guy. I put pressure until he grabs my shoulder. He grabbed my shoulder very good. Now I can swim under. I push this to this side. As I go, and I feel like he takes the pressure. Maybe I lose the pressure on his neck. Then he takes and pushes on my hip now. Nope. And I start again. I tighten my grip up again tighter. I put more pressure on his face to where he uses that shoulder more. He better grab that. He better grab my shoulder. He can go to sleep. And now I can take my position. I told you before that he can push my hip, but that's once my head's on the mat. I've got the kind of arm triangle position. He's going to have a hard time rolling me. But before that, I'm vulnerable to being rolled. Does that make sense? So what we need to do is make sure all the things that we need are in place before we try to do the technique. Because otherwise we force the technique and we're hoping to get lucky. We're hoping that God doesn't know that he can take advantage of my poor position. So focus on your position. Don't go forward until it's all perfect almost. You know what I mean? Have something almost perfect. But I guess that's life. Does that make sense? All right, guys, we're gonna test it on 3. 1, 2, 3.